Hi folks, we're back with Licenciado JJ for the second part of a three-part series we're doing here to help you get legal smart for Costa Rica. In part one, we discussed the purchase of real estate, so if you haven't seen that one, I recommend you see that portion. And in this second part, we'll be talking about items related to immigration and application for permanent residency and all the variables that affect that. So good morning again, JJ.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, friends. Thank you, dear friends. Welcome to Costa Rica. The residency program in Costa Rica has several statuses that foreigners, either acquiring real estate or if they receive a pension from a government or a stable permanent source, they can qualify. These statuses are pensionado or retired person. This is a person who receives $1,000 American dollars from a government entity, a public source entity, like government pension or pension fund or some 401k or entity. Okay, it has to be $1,000. For example, if it's the Social Security, the American Embassy issues this letter through their website. The Social Security section of the American Embassy in San Jose, they issued the letter in Spanish to immigration, certifying the person receives $1,000, and this qualifies the wife, the spouse, husband or wife, and the children up to 25 years old if they are students. The second one is called rentista, which is a person who receives $2,500 a month during a period of 2 years from a stable, permanent source. And it's very important, the emphasis on stability. It needs to be, for example, annuities or some financial instrument that has stability. Some people ask if they rent an apartment or a house in their home country for $2,500, this doesn't qualify. Another option to prove the availability of the $2,500 a month during 2 years is a certificate deposit in any financial institution in Costa Rica for 2 years for the amount of $60,000, because $60,000 covers 2 years of monthly expenses of $2,500.
Oh, okay. What about after those first 2 years? You renew it?
Yes, basically the money will stay there for 6 years, because it takes 2 years for the application to Migración from the moment that the process is started. So the money would be waiting there until Migración approves. Once approved, you can withdraw monthly the $25, which is the guarantee you are giving to have a means of economic living in Costa Rica. But after the 2 years, when you apply for renewal, you need to show another CD for the next 2 years of renewal. So you would have to either deposit another one or leave the original one there for 4 years, so that you have it there when you're going to renew on the first time.
Now, I understand after 3 years you can apply for permanent residency.
That'll be after the renewal. After the renewal of 2 years, you will be already 4 years. You will be already 4 years with residency. Then you can apply for permanent residency. Okay. Correct. Yes. The other status is the old law, which is purchaser of property worth $200,000. This is under the old law. This one, you purchase a property for $200,000 either in your personal name or on a company name, and you show to Migración that you have the real estate taxes paid in full for the year for this property to the municipality. And if it were the case, the luxury house tax, if the amount were triggered by the dollar exchange rate, if it were triggered, you show you pay both taxes and you qualify for residency together with the spouse and children of 25 years of age if they study. The new law of 2022, they passed a new law to foster the attraction of investors, and they lowered the amount with the new law to $150,000. But with this new law, the property needs to be titled in your physical name, or the investment. The investment needs to be in your physical name, and this may pose a liability exposure for some individuals and also this new law has a provision of exemptions, customs import exemptions of 2 vehicles and a household inventory, but the government still has not been able to pass the regulations to put in effect this import exemption of customs import taxes. So currently you can apply under this status if you title in your physical name, but the customs import exception is still pending due to the regulations of the law and some technicalities that they are having.
Will those benefits be retroactive if I apply, for example, for residency now with this new law? Say I do it with 150,000 purchase in my name of a property. Will, once they approve the details for exemption for the tax on the 2 cars or 2 vehicles, could be a boat and a car or any 2 vehicles, and the household goods. Once they approve that, will I have retroactive benefits?
Yes.
I'll be able to do it at that
Yes,
time?
correct. You will be grandfathered. Of
Okay.
course, you will be grandfathered under the law. Yeah. Okay. That's the other status. Then the other status is if you run a business, micro business, running any type of business of any legal nature. It can be a store, a bar, a restaurant, a hotel, a pharmacy. If you run a business in Costa Rica with at least 1 Costa Rican employee on your payroll, paying, of course, payroll taxes, workers' compensation, having the business license from the municipality, you show that you're running a legitimate business with 1 Costa Rican payroll, that qualifies you for residency under the micro-entrepreneur status.
And is that the same amount of the business, or how does that work?
No, there is no amount. You just have to have a Costa Rican.
You have to show that you
payroll.
have a business and one employee.
You're creating an employment
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Got it. That's interesting.
Yeah. The required documents from your country of origin, you're going to need to bring your birth certificate and a criminal records letter issued by the federal authority. If you come from a federal country, it needs to be the FBI or the Royal Mounted Police of Canada, for example, if it's a federal country, issued by the federal authority, and the marriage certificate if it's a couple. These 3 documents need to be authenticated by the Secretary of State or Global Affairs in Canada. It's called apostille authentication. In the case of Canada, it has to be authenticated by the Consul of Costa Rica, furthermore, the Consul of Costa Rica. And then the other documents we make in Costa Rica. The application fee of Migración is $300 per individual. The approval fee stands at $720 right now per individual. The processing time 2 to 3 years. Once you apply, you receive an electronic receipt on paper and electronic from Migración with your name, passport, case number, and it allows you to remain in Costa Rica the 2 years of the processing time. And you are free to leave the country, of course, but you can remain here the
Right.
2 years.
But if you leave and you come back in, you have those benefits.
You
that
have
you're-
the receipt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
right.
So you won't need-
You don't have to do those border runs every
No,
90 days
no.
to try to stay legal.
Except to drive. If you drive, the driving transit law requires that to drive using a foreign license, you need to do the
Exit
the
the
90
country.
day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Once you are approved, after the 2-year processing time, when Migración approves your application, they mail you the resolution. At this moment, we need to make the deposit in the bank. The approval fee is $720, and we need to go to the Social Security Inspector Office, Caja, the Social Security that runs the public hospital system. We need to go there for an interview with the inspector, and the foreigner, the applicants, the residents, at this moment need to enroll or register with the Social Security of Costa Rica and start paying a Social Security tax for the right to use the hospital system of Costa Rica and receive medical attention from the public system. This tax is a tiered tax from 2 to 10%, depending on the income that you prove to them through documents, bank statements, an affidavit, or a certified public accountant certification.
So now with that, one of the benefits that I understand with when you sign up with the Caja is that it also includes prescription drugs.
Correct.
Right.
Prescription drugs
So
of
that's
any illness, any disease. Let's hope you will never need it,
Yeah.
but there it is in case.
The downside to the Caja is that it can be sometimes a bit slow. So some people do like a hybrid thing where they have some private insurance to supplement the Caja, or maybe they just use a private doctor for visits and other things, and the caja they keep it in reserve for the big ticket items. Right?
Caja, correct. Caja for outpatient, the stuff is a little bit slow, but for chronic diseases, heart conditions, cancer, is at world standard level.
Right.
And correct, you may use either private insurance from local provider or from United States or Canada international insurance. Most of the private hospitals, CIMA, Biblica, Católica, Hospital Metropolitano, they acknowledge they have agreements with private insurance like Blue Shield,
right,
or other providers.
Yeah. We'll be discussing insurance in more detail with another friend of mine here in Jaco in another episode, so keep an eye out for that one. Well, thank you for your great information, Licenciado JJ.
You're welcome, Hernan. You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.